Hi winners, look, welcome to Terry's Tips, guys. Y'all saw the title. Late payments are literally killing your credit score, okay? So in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about how to delete late payments, what's considered a late payment, how they impact your score, guys. And I'm actually going to throw in a few nuggets to help you out if your late payments don't get deleted. Get a notebook, get a pen, because we have a lot to cover, guys, and I'll do my nugget at the end. So let's jump right in. So guys, first, always remember that a late payment on your credit report means that you are past 30 days. That means that legally, a company cannot report you late to the credit bureaus until you are 30 days past due. Example, your Capital One payment was due on January 1st. If you pay it on January 5th, you are not late to the credit bureaus. If you pay it on January 15th, you are not late to the credit bureaus. If you pay it on January 25th, you are not late to the credit bureau. They can only legally report you as late to the credit bureaus after you are 30 days past due. That freed somebody. Now let me tell you why. Because money could be an issue. Sometimes life happens and say you need to pay on the 10th or on the 15th or on the 20th. You will be late in their system. They will be calling you. They will be mailing you. They'll be texting you, right? You know how these companies are. And you may even get a late fee, but they will not report you late to the credit bureaus until you are 30 days past due. So guys, a lot of times within 30 days, you can get paid one or two times. You can hustle up some money. So do not let your accounts go past due 30 days. You can actually save your credit a whole lot just by that hack right there. Now, another nugget right here. How do late payments impact your score? Pause, y'all. One late payment on your open available credit can drop your credit score up to 100 points, y'all, and be reported for 7 years. Guys, I used to work for TransUnion. I'm board certified and credit score certified. I have over 20 years of experience. I've been doing this since before social media was a thing. Okay, so I'm not going to give you a bunch of fluff in this video. I'm going to tell you the real deal, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, the things you want to hear and the things you don't want to hear. Guys, late payments on your open available credit are actually hurting your score more than a bunch of hard inquiries, more than collections. Yes, y'all, sometimes you are not getting the results that you want because you're focusing in the wrong area. So your open available credit, that means your current mortgage, current car note, current personal loan, current credit cards, current student loans, any open available credit, one late payment, one can drop it up to 100 points and be reported for 7 years. Okay, guys? So you always want to focus there first. Now, tip, guys, when you get your copy of your credit reports, right? And no, step number one, get a copy of your credit report, right? I recommend annualcreditreport.com. They will give you a free copy every single week. All 3 credit bureaus that just will not have a score. Download your reports from TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian directly. You can also use Credit Check Total and My FICO because that will give you FICO scores. You are not going to use Credit Karma. You are not going to use Credit Sesame. You're not even going to use Identity IQ. I said it because sometimes they are still using Vantage scores and you want to use a FICO scoring model, okay? So once you have your reports from all 3 bureaus, current reports, look at your open and closed accounts. This is a huge nugget, guys, because how you remove late payments is going to 1000% depend on if the account is open or closed. Yes, y'all, and pause. Depending on when you're watching this video, guys, I'm having a live Zoom training on January 4th. It might even be sold out, but I hope not. By the time you watch this video, I'll put the information in the description, and also I'll pin the comment. If you want some hands-on training from an expert, taking a limited amount of people, personal credit scores, business credit scores, real estate financing, business funding, live Zoom training. All right, guys, so when you get a copy of your report, look at your open accounts and look at your closed accounts. Tip. The only way, guys, to remove a late payment is through the dispute process. The hack, the higher level, is that who you dispute it with and how you dispute it matters. Okay, so for open accounts, you're always going to dispute it with the creditor first. That means if you're late with Capital One, you dispute with Capital One. You're late with Wells Fargo, you dispute it with Wells Fargo. You're late with Bank of America, you dispute it with Bank of America. Now, why? Guys, the dispute process is literally just about validating the debt. That's it. A lot of credit repair people don't even understand what that means, okay? So that means through the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the credit bureaus and the creditors have a responsibility to report accurate information. And if you dispute something, you, the consumer, they have to verify it is valid. And if they don't respond at all, they don't respond in time, or they're unable to validate the debt, the item gets deleted. Now, why does that matter if it's an open account? Guys, if it's your current mortgage, your current car note, your current student loans, your current credit card, guess what? They can verify who you are. You're currently paying them. They have your address, they have your social, they have your phone number. Disputing it with the credit bureau and pissing the creditor off is doing nothing but making your situation worse. Yes, y'all, so if you have a late payment on your open available credit, go to your original creditor first. And you can also do what's called a goodwill letter. Now, pause. Some people are like, well, goodwill letters don't work. Neither does the dispute process with open available credit. Come on, somebody. It does work. There is still maybe a 60-70% chance of it working, depending on who the creditor is, how late you've been, and your past history. If you have an auto loan with Toyota and you've been late 5 times and you're trying to do a goodwill letter now, well, they're probably not going to do it for you, right? Now, if you have an auto loan with Toyota and you've been late 1 time and you call them right after it was late or right before it went late, and then you do this goodwill letter and you send it off to them and ask them to kind of forgive it and explain that you've been through a hardship, they're actually likely to do it, okay? So goodwill letters do work. It just depends on your creditor and your relationship and your history with them. But no matter what, the dispute process with your open available accounts is not really going to work either, because they can verify who you are and they can verify the debt. So a goodwill letter, that means you're putting it in writing to the creditor directly. You're explaining what the situation was, that you had a financial hardship, medical hardship, whatever the situation was, and you're asking for a one-time forgiveness for the late payment. You're also giving a remedy. I'm now gainfully employed. I'm now putting this account on auto pay. I'm now paying an extra payment. You're offering them something that kind of work with you, because legally they don't have to. Now, nugget right here. Guys, you can do the goodwill letter multiple times. I actually recommend it. Let me explain. I've had people do a goodwill letter, and very first time it was a no. Second time it was a no. Third time it was a yes. Guys, it's corporate America. Tip. Sometimes it depends on whose desk it gets on. Kim is brand new in her probationary period. She's like, I ain't deleting nothing. Mike is like, I'm under probation. I'm still kind of new here. I'm not deleting nothing. The third time you write the letter and it gets on Bill's desk, and Bill is a month from retirement, he like, this get deleted, this get deleted, this get deleted. Y'all, I'm telling y'all some real stuff, okay? So if you send the goodwill letter in and they respond back and they're unwilling to do it, wait a little while, change the date, send it back in, and see if it can be reconsidered. Sometimes multiple times, it's going to take a little bit of sweat equity, but it's worth it for something to be removed. It will be 7 years and 100-something points. So you're doing it with the original creditor, in writing directly, explain the situation, what kind of hardship it was, what the remedy is, and asking for them to remove it. And be specific. I'm asking for a one-time consideration for you to remove the late payment January 2022 from my credit report, right? Being specific with it, okay? Now, if it's a closed account, and listen to me very clearly, it's very unlikely, I'm just going to be honest with you, to get late payments removed from the closed account and still keep the account. So usually when you do the dispute process for a closed account, guys, a lot of times it's either going to stay on your report or the entire account is going to be deleted. Pause. If this video is helping you, okay, if you got some value, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and please share, okay? So for that dispute process, you're going to do it with the credit bureaus directly. If it's a closed account, that means you're disputing it with TransUnion directly, Equifax directly, and Experian directly. You're not contacting the original creditor because they have no incentive to work with you because the account is closed. Come on, somebody. I teach high-level strategy because I've been doing this for years, decades now. That sounds kind of make me feel old. Okay, guys. So you're disputing with the credit bureaus directly because the creditor could care less about working with you. It's already a closed account. Okay. Now, when you're disputing it with the credit bureaus, you are doing it in writing. You're not doing it over the phone. You're not doing it online. I don't care what any of the videos say. If you want a better result, you do it in writing. nugget right here, and I hate to say it. If you've already worked with a credit repair company and the item was not deleted, you have a much lower chance of it being deleted now, because now they kind of have it on file. You've been disputing it. They probably have the documentation to verify it. You always have the very best chance if you dispute it directly and your very first round. Your very first round is always your most effective round. Now, if you did work with credit repair before, still try to do it on your own, but I'm just going to be honest with you, okay? Would you rather me be honest or fluffy, okay? You've had enough fluff, right? That's the definition of insanity. So dispute it with the credit bureaus directly. Do it in writing. Send 2 forms of ID. I recommend your driver's license and a utility bill that show your current name and your current address. Pause. If your driver's license does not show your current address, then send something else, like two utility bills, like, electric and water, or cable and cell phone, or whatever. But 2 forms of ID showing your name and your current address to prove it's a valid dispute coming from you, the consumer, and not some credit repair place, okay? You also want to do a personal sweep. That means make sure that all the information on your report is your current, accurate information, that outdated phone numbers, addresses, employment, AKAs, even just any outdated information is off of your report, okay? And again, this is something you do directly. You do not claim fraud. You do not commit fraud trying to clean up your credit report. You do a personal sweep and make sure the information is accurate, and you send the letter to the credit bureaus directly. You are being specific, giving them your current name, current address, providing your 2 forms of ID, tell them exactly what account you're disputing, the company name and the account number, and tell them why you're disputing it. You can say this is inaccurate reporting, delete the account. Inaccurate reporting, delete the late payments, right? Whatever your situation is. Nugget, you are not using a dispute template letter. You are writing your own letter. You're getting a Word document or a piece of notebook paper, okay, and handwriting it out. And then when you send it to the credit bureaus, make sure you do send it certified. I do recommend that. And guys, send it to all 3 bureaus. All 3 bureaus. Now, why? Because the bureaus are competitors. They don't share information. So if it gets deleted from TransUnion, that does not mean that Equifax and Experian are going to delete it. You have to dispute with each bureau because of compliance, guys, right? So each bureau has to do their own investigation with the creditor directly, okay? Now, they have 30 days by law to verify if the account's yours. It's either going to come back and say deleted, or it's going to come back stay the same, or it's going to come back and say information has changed. Guys, if it has been validated, look at what it is they actually verified, right? And see if you can redispute it. I say do it 1, 2, or 3 rounds. After that, do not keep on disputing the item. That's the definition of insanity. So tip right here, right? If you have valid late payments, there's never a 100% guarantee that it can be removed. If that was the case, everybody would have an 800 credit score. I'm telling y'all some real stuff, okay? So look at other areas of your report where you can increase your score. Example, add credit builder accounts. I recommend SelfLender for installment credit and credit builder card. I'll put the link in the description of this video, and it's also in my link tree, okay? Those are soft inquiries. Report to all 3 credit bureaus. They will give you accounts right now. Why is that helpful to you? Because the only way to combat late payments that are on your report that will not be removed is to add positive payment history. And a lot of times you guys cannot get approved for a bunch of brand new accounts because of the negative information. But credit builder accounts, the right ones, will actually give you accounts right now, with no hard inquiry. Report to all 3 bureaus. I only endorse 2. I only endorse those 2 because I've seen them actually work. I've seen people get between 30, 60, 80 something points literally by adding SelfLender installment account, credit builder cards, and paying them 3 to 6 months on time. They've gotten a bigger increase than 2-3 years in credit repair. Okay, so adding credit builder accounts. Also disputing other items, right? So let's say the late payments won't come off, but say you do have inquiries, you do have collections, you do have other items that can come off. Well, guys, dispute those items. Be super aggressive there, because what you don't want to do is have late payments and collections and hard inquiries and repo and foreclosure, right? But guys, if you have some late payments on an account and everything else is kind of pretty good, that does not mean you will be denied for credit. Come on, somebody. A lot of you guys may qualify for real estate financing right now and you don't even know it. register for my Zoom so I can free you, okay? So focus on other areas. And then the last thing is also being aware of what you're trying to apply for and who you're applying with. Because a no for Chase, a no for Bank of America, a no for Wells Fargo may be a yes for a fintech company, a yes for a credit union, a yes for a PNC, a Citizens, a Key Bank, one of these smaller regional banks, right? So sometimes it's just the type of credit you're going for and who you're asking. Changing the creditor and changing the type of credit can actually equal a yes and help you rebuild. Got it good. So in this video, I talked about, how a late payment impacts you, how to dispute them, and I gave you some tips for actually improving your score, guys. And for my nugget, stop taking advice from people who are not experts. Y'all, I'm a credit expert, okay? So if we're in a great big room and people are talking about stocks or talking about crypto or talking about, cooking, Thanksgiving dinner, talking about knitting, talking about hair, talking about cutting grass, interior design, anything else, guys, I'm keeping my 2 cents to myself. I may have an opinion, but I'm not going to talk about it. But if you're talking about some personal or business credit, baby, I'm about to run circles around everybody in the room. I'm about to tell you the whole truth, nothing but the truth. I'm about to speak it and speak life into you and give you everything you need to get to your goal. Guys, a lot of the problem is that you're listening to people that are not experts. They do not have the knowledge, skills, experience, endorsements, or even results. Y'all following people that got people credit cards and cars. Guys, you can put $5,000 down and have 35% interest on a car. That don't mean you got good credit. People with bad credit got cars and they're driving around with car notes that are mortgage payments. Guys, part of the problem is that you're listening to people who are not experts in the field that they're trying to train you in. They may have some level of knowledge. Maybe they've done it themselves. Just doing it themselves on your own personal situation does not qualify you as an expert. So, caution, right? Just be aware of who you're following for what situation, for what area, and make sure they have the knowledge, skills, experience, proof, and endorsements to actually get you to the goal. Amen.